This is my bathroom countertop, and it's really ugly. So I decided to change it. But I'm doing this bathroom makeover on a tight budget, so I'm going to make a countertop out of one board that I bought for $9. But the amount of work that I had to do to make this happen, I'm just gonna say cheaper isn't always better.
Oh my god, why?
But let me take you to the beginning. This is what my bathroom used to look like, and on the last video, I did some drywall work, painted the walls, I also painted the cabinets, and I was going to leave the countertop alone because like I mentioned, I'm on a budget. But it bothered me. It bothered me so bad, and this is how I got here. So I went to Lowe's and I picked up a 10-foot board. I actually had a couple calculations depending on whether I picked an 8-foot board or a 10-foot board, but I picked the board that was warped the least because everything here looked in pretty rough shape. And I wasn't too happy with how the grain looked, but I think I can make this work. The entire bathroom was supposed to take me 2 to 3 days, but one disaster after another has put me way behind. So I am now on day 5 of this renovation. Let's get rid of this ugly thing. First things first, I shut the water off to make sure that I didn't flood the bathroom. I then disconnected all the plumbing so that I can remove the sink. My goal was to reuse the sink and just change the faucet, but when I tried to remove it, it was really glued, so I tried using a pry bar, and this would cause a major problem. Oh! Okay, I guess I'm gonna need a new sink. I'm gonna be honest though, I wanted a square sink and I didn't buy one to keep the cost low, but now I guess I don't have a choice, so I get the sink that I want. But I still gotta take the countertop off, and I'm really hoping I don't break anything. Ouch. Great, more drywall repair. My favorite thing to do. I'm gonna be really careful on this part so I don't break the mirror because I would just cry. I'm looking forward to making the frame for the mirror, so I don't want to break it. A couple small problems. One, the drywall. I gotta do drywall repair. The second problem is, so this countertop like overlapped the cabinet, so you see how where it's painted and where it's not. So I decided not to do the second coat on the cabinet because I knew that I was gonna have to paint this edges. When I do the second coat, I gotta make sure that I sand this so it just kind of looks even. And again, I just gotta repair some of the drywall so it's not noticeable. After I got done doing a coat of drywall mud, I went outside to set up and start making the countertop. If you hear me talking, I'm just talking to the camera. I'm not crazy, okay?
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
So this board looks pretty rough, and I wish they had better looking boards, but I'm trying to work with what I have. Basically, I'm trying to avoid the knots, or at least the bad ones. I'm also gonna cut the edges off, so that way it has a flat edge, and I'm gonna glue them together. But before I do all that, I need to make the surface really smooth. Now, I know that not everyone has a planer laying around because they are actually pretty pricey, but there's other options. You can either sand, it's just if it has a rough surface, you'll be sanding for a while, or buy like better quality wood. I bought that wood because I knew that I had the planer and I could make it smooth, but you don't have to have one of these. This is actually the first time I've used one. My dad overheard me talking and saying that I needed a planer for some of my future wood projects, and he got me one for Christmas, which was really, really nice. makes a mess. Look at this. What a mess. It's like everywhere. It makes a huge difference though. It made it really smooth. After I got the boards planed, I got the table saw ready to cut the edges off each side so that I can have a flat side to glue them to each other.
I stopped because I'm starting to realize that I don't think I like the pattern. I don't like how it looks. It looks too rustic, and it's not the look that I am going for. So I'm thinking of just cutting thinner pieces, just glue them together like a big butcher block. But I've never done that before. I'm kind of having issues where it's also like not super straight, so I don't know if the board's straight or if I need to change my blade. I can tell that it's dull, so I'm gonna do that first. I see gaps and I'm just worried that that becomes a problem in the future. I mean, I can clamp it and glue it together, but I'm afraid that it'll separate in the future. I just realized I don't even have a new blade for this. I thought I did, but this is a 10-inch and what I have is a 12-inch, which is for my miter saw. So I have to run to the store real quick, and I guess while I'm at it, I'll get the new sink. Okay, I'm back. So I'm getting ready to change this. It's about to get dark, so I'm gonna try to at least cut the countertop, cut all the pieces, and then I can get ready for a glue up tomorrow. I'm gonna take this out. Oh. What are you doing? It definitely looks a lot better. I like the small pieces rather than the full grain. I am a little bit worried though about it splitting in the future. I can tell like some of the pieces are a little bit warped. I think they'll be fine once I clamp them and glue them, but I don't know. I've never done anything like this before. I like to try new things. I have been wanting to do something like this because eventually I would like to make cutting boards. I think that's a cool project that I would like to do. And this is a similar process.
And this was the end of this day, but before I put everything away, I wanted to see what the countertop looked like in the space. Before we continue with this project, I would like to take a moment to tell you about Accents. Accents offers a smart smoke and carbon monoxide detector with a lifespan up to 10 years. This smoke alarm is great because it'll tell you the second that there's a problem, even when you're not home. It's battery operated, so even if you lose power, you don't have to worry about the smoke alarm not working. And for a limited amount of time, you can get the smoke alarm at a discount with the link I provided in the description below. This is not your typical everyday smoke alarm. Accent's Home Security app is a cost-free app that offers real-time notifications so that you can keep an eye on your home from anywhere and get an immediate push notification such as an alarm going off, low battery, fault, and more. I found the smoke alarm very easy to install. It only took a few minutes, and setting it up to connect to my phone was also really easy through the app. If you want to know more about this product, I will have it linked in the description below along with a limited time discount code.
I feel a lot better this morning about this countertop. I actually test fitted it yesterday, and also I wanted to visualize what it looked like in the space, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I was worried about the gaps, but I think I can take care of that in some of the warped pieces between the table saw and the planer. I can straighten them out as much as I can, and when I do the glue up, it should be fine. I'm excited to get this done, so let's get started.
After I put each piece of wood to make the grain pattern I wanted, I numbered them so that I could put them in order when it was time to glue them. I then used a combination of the planer and the table saw to make each board as straight as possible. I should have made a jig to make a straight cut on the table saw, but that's something that I didn't learn until later on in this project.
It's me.
that I was happy with each of the wood strips, I put them all together on pipe clamps. Because the pipe clamps can dent the wood, I put a piece of scrap wood on each end. I also used parchment paper at the bottom for any glue drips since my work table is made out of wood. And I'm also doing the glue up in 2 separate pieces, which is why I'm using blue tape to separate them. This is so that I can run each piece through the planer since the whole thing won't fit, and then I'll glue the 2 pieces together. So this is the part where it got challenging for me. I made a huge mistake, and that was not making sure that I had enough glue to do this. I had a big bottle of glue and a smaller bottle, both half full, and I thought that would be enough. The second mistake was not watching a video of how to do this efficiently, because if you notice here, I'm gluing 2 boards at the same time, but I'm also leaving the back of each of those boards without the glue, which I don't realize until later. The third mistake was to attempt to do both pieces at the same time, but the reason for that is because I only have these 3 clamps and I wanted to do it all at once. Otherwise, I would have had to wait a day to do the second part. At this point in the glue up, I'm already running out of glue. I'm trying to squeeze every little bit out, but I'm not worried because I still have the little bottle left and I haven't realized that I still have half of the wood that still needs glue. Now I've realized that I still have half of the glue up to do and that I definitely don't have enough glue. I'm also panicking because the glue is starting to set. This video sped up, but it was actually time consuming to do each board, which is why I said earlier I should have done it 1 piece at a time. I finally ran out of glue, so I desperately ran to my shed hoping that I found another bottle of glue, but I didn't have any luck. So my only choice at this point is to beat the glue bottle against the wood so every little bit of glue comes out and hope that that's enough. And I made it. I was able to glue each piece, and after that was done, I went and found every single clamp I own and put it on this thing. Unfortunately, I had the microphone off the entire time, which is why I had to narrate the entire thing, but that was probably a good thing because I was probably swearing the entire time. The last thing I had to do that day was a second coat on the cabinet, and I actually ended up doing a third coat later on.
Are you gonna need the what thing? The planer?
No.
The chop saw?
No.
The table saw?
No.
What the hell? Oh, the air compressor.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
This is a... That's what this is. This one is the... Ouch. Ah. Okay.
It's shaking. It's shaking.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
After we got done setting up for the day, the weather decided to do what the weather does. Okay. Ready. It's raining. It's freaking raining.
It's like raining a lot.
You gotta love Florida.
Alright. It is very common in Florida to rain or storm for a few minutes and then it's done for the rest of the day. And the sky often looks sunny on one side and stormy on the other. I did most of the glue cleanup on the top the day before, so I mostly had to clean up the bottom.
I probably should have covered the pipes with tape or something. Oh my god, I hope this stuff comes out easy. Huh. Not terrible. It just looks like so much, you know, like it seems overwhelming. That was kind of satisfying. Kind of. There were parts that were not that satisfying because it was hard to take off. I don't know if there was too much squeeze out or if I just didn't clean it soon enough. Anyways, I'm still learning, so some of it came out super easy. Some of it was I had to dig a little bit to get the glue out. I got as much as I could, and then the planer will do the rest. I'm ready to pass these through the planer, but I was a little bit nervous because they look so rough. Like after taking out all the glue and everything, like they just look rough. They're very uneven. I looked up a tutorial online to see how to pass it through where I can get a flat surface because neither the bottom nor the top is flat at all. So I'm gonna start planing the bottom, just, you know, as a test. And I had to build a jig that was pretty simple to build. Why is it not going? Oh my god, why? Why? And then I used shims to level this out, so to make sure that it was not rocking, and then to secure it in place I use hot glue in different places including the shims so that way it doesn't move when I'm passing it through the planer. Look at that difference. Like, look at this and look at this. Like, oh my god. It's like night and day. Like, I was pretty worried just because it looks so rough, but I swear that planer does magic. And this is just the bottom, so that's where you see all the knots and stuff. I can't wait to do the top. I'm gonna plane this one at the bottom also, then flip them over and then do the top. Making sure they're the same height so that I can glue them together, and then the rest I will do with sanding. But that's the countertop. What are you doing, Misty? What is that? You want me to throw that? That's too big. Okay, fine. Just one. But you should find your toy.
I followed the same process as before, except that this time I only had that middle section to glue, so it went smoothly.
The monkey noises help.
I got it.
Okay.
Sorry. What happened? Before I started on the countertop, I worked on making the wall smooth around the vanity by sanding it and doing another coat of drywall mud.
I think I'm getting better at this. It came out really good. I love it. This is the back, that's the front. I actually like the back better because I like the knots, but this is a countertop that's gonna have a sink. And there's water, so knots, not a good idea. So I'm gonna have to use the clean side here. I think I did a good job like trying to hide the knots, and I think like these are gonna end up where the sink cutout is. The ironic part about this countertop, most of it's gonna be cut out because the countertop is actually gonna take most of it. Kind of sad that I spent so much time building this and I'm just gonna cut most of it out. It came out great. I'm very happy with it, and once I sand it I can do the sink cutout and we can test it, see how it looks.
Let's go test fit it and see what it looks like.
Nice. Very nice. What do you think? I think that's gonna work. I'm just not sure if to make this a little bit taller. I don't want it super tall like it was before. I feel like with the short backsplash, it'll look better. The tall backsplash, it's, I don't know, for me, I feel like it feels outdated. The backsplash does serve a purpose, but I'm wondering if it's too short. Should go here. Maybe. Before I do anything else though, I need to make this a straight edge. Cause it's pretty like, you know, not straight. Should have known better and put painter's tape to avoid the chipping because I'm cutting cross grain. It's not too bad, but there's just one bad chip over here, and that's gonna be the edge that's visible, unfortunately. But I think I do have a couple more repairs to do before I can seal this, so it's not a big deal. So I have enough wood left from the countertop from the last board to do the backsplash, but they are the pieces I took out because it's pretty warped, so I don't want to deal with fixing them. So instead, I'm going to use a new board, which is the board I'm going to use for the shelves that I'm going to put above the toilet. It's an 8-foot board, and I don't need anywhere near that for the shelves, so I'm just going to use a couple thin pieces out of this to make the backsplash.
What I'm doing here is I'm using an MDF board with a straight edge as a reference to the fence on my saw so that I make one of the sides of the board perfectly straight, which is something I should have done on every piece of the countertop, but I didn't learn this until watching some tutorials later. And now I'm just cutting the board down to the size of the backsplash.
I got the backsplash cut, but I couldn't decide whether to do the side splash the same size or if to do it a little bit smaller. So I tried a couple different pieces. Like I have this one right here, which is much smaller. And I think this looks better. I don't know, like I like the small backsplash. See, it's not as tall as it used to be. I just think it looks better if it's cleaner on the side, but I still want to put something because this thing's pretty big and I know water can get in here. So the goal is to not have water against the wall. I think I like how it looks better with the little tiny piece than with this. So the sink comes with a template. I'm just gonna cut it out, obviously like measure it where the middle is. I'm gonna drill holes, and with the jigsaw I'm gonna cut all the way around, and that should be the hole for the sink.
Oh my, it's tearing so bad. I mean, it's not gonna be visible, but it bothers me how much it's actually tearing. Yeah. Ouch. Still tearing. Tore pretty bad on there. The overlap of the sink's gonna cover it though. Ooh. Yeah, nice. Very nice. It looks gorgeous. I love it. How pretty. It looks so nice. There's nothing better than the feeling of like seeing your project come together. My vision is coming together. I'm so excited. Tomorrow I'll finish the little things like cutting the backsplash, and after that I can stain it and finish it and seal it, but I think I'm gonna do that along with the shelves because this and the shelves are gonna be the same color. And then I also have to build the mirror frame, which is also going to be made out of wood. I haven't decided on the color on that yet, but I'll figure it out. I'm glad that I decided to change the countertop and I didn't have to spend a fortune to build it. However, the sink was not planned, so that might throw me off budget. Here's where I am so far with how much I've spent. The next step is to build a mirror frame. Now this is what I had on my mood board as my inspiration, but that was if I kept my previous countertop. But because now I have a wood countertop, I changed my mind on the type of mirror frame that I want. On the next video, I will be building a gold mirror frame from scratch, and I found this mirror online for $432 to use as my inspiration, but I'll be spending a fraction of that.
Oh my god, look at that. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. I love it. I freaking love it.